How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Next month, my upload schedule is going to improve, because if it doesn't, and I mean 2 or 3 videos a week doesn't, the top comment of this video will be the forfeit I have to do. Don't make it creepy. Don't make it weird. Like an actual forfeit. Don't you see some weird little thing in the comments where it's like, I dare you to get naked on Instagram live, and then everyone spam like it. Please don't do that. Make it something actually something that like I don't want to do. No, that makes it sound like I want to get naked on Instagram. Right, stop, Michael. Make it a proper forfeit, please. Before we get going with this video as well, I want to just give a big shout out to everyone that supports me on Patreon. It's completely non-profit. You can subscribe for the price of 2 cheeseburgers. You get access to extra content each month, and soon we're revamping it, which has been happening for months, but me and my team have just been so busy with real life things and predator catches that we have to conduct that we're not sort of on the ball with it. But this is improving next month. That's why my upload schedule has got to improve. It's completely non-profit. It pays for only the editors, decoys, lawyers and everything else involved in catching these people and making sure that they are put behind bars. Me and my team make sure that we do every single catch to the utmost professional tone that we possibly can, and without your help, well, that just wouldn't happen. So thank you for everyone who supports me over there. Massive shout out to you. Last thing as well, I'm also sorry about this. This happened because my son decided, oh wait, there must be a door behind that because it's a different colour to the wall, and he just started ripping all my foam off the wall in the looks for the door to Narnia, it seems. What a bizarre child. Without any further hesitation, let's get into this video. There's not many female predator catchers in the UK, and it's always interesting to see the other side of what is the stereotypical predator. You know, the old creepy man who preys on people in the night time. It's always interesting to show and see a female caught in the daytime. It just doesn't seem right. So without any further hesitation, let's get going.
You whatsoever?
Of course.
Yeah, my name is Jamie Hunter.
Nice to meet
and
you.
I work for a child protection team, okay? We need to have a conversation with you today. Come with us.
You still?
Yeah. When I ask you these questions, I don't want any names.
No,
right?
that's fine, yeah.
Okay?
I'll do my very best to give you the answers.
The way that's said almost makes it sound like it's being live streamed, because I guess they're worried about the decoys' names being publicised, and then a predator or a potential predator who is watching the video remembers the decoy's name, remembers that they're messaging them, and quickly blocks them before enough evidence is gathered to get a proper investigation or arrest made against that person. If it is a video like this, I wouldn't have to ask for names to be edited out. In fact, I would ask for them to give as much information as humanly possible, because the more information they give me, the more I can tie it into the story that I already know. If they start lying, I know that they're lying. If they start telling the truth, I know they're telling the truth. If they say, oh, I wasn't speaking to Hannah, and my decoy, I can't fucking say that word, and the decoy was called Hannah, and I hadn't previously said that during the video, then I would know unequivocally that they were speaking to my decoy because they already knew the name. So based on this, I am guessing this was a live stream.
Well, just so you know, I've read everything you've said to this child, so I know the answers already. So yeah, your best policy now is to be honest with me.
Of course I will.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, up against this wall, yeah.
I've got nothing to hide if you've got questions. that
Right,
need
we're just going to stand
answering.
here just so we're out of the way, alright?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Right, first of all, have you got any learning disabilities?
I have.
And what are they?
Mild learning disability and autism.
And autism, yeah?
Yeah, it's on my doctor's notes.
Right, okay.
The last thing I want to do is excuse somebody with learning difficulties and autism and other impairments of using that as an excuse to get away with their crimes. But I just want to make this known that if somebody is actually autistic and actually has a low IQ, I think it's sub 80 or sub 90 in the UK, they would have an argument in the UK and America to say that they are not of the right mental capacity to actually understand fully what they were doing. You've got to remember, somebody with an IQ sub 80 has the brain of a 5 to 10 year old. They're in their head, they are a child still. it's not like they think they're 5 or 10, but that's as far as their brain can go. It's the same as a 5 or 10-year-old. So this would be an argument in court that would be used against it. That's my personal opinion. They should never get away with their crimes. It should definitely be handed to the police. But I'm just giving a bit of information as to how that could affect a case.
Which is why I'm in a supported living service.
Right, okay.
And I'm under the care of social services.
Yep, okay.
Because of my learning disability and autism.
Yep.
I'm also, there's currently a court of protection order that's going to be in place. That allows me to use the internet in a controlled way.
Does it allow you to speak to children online?
No, but it will be under what's known as a court of protection.
You see that road there? Right, shut up now because I'm sick of listening to you. See?
Fair enough. The fact that she has to go to a court to show that she has the right mental capacity and the right IQ to be able to use the internet safely without putting others in danger or herself in danger, that shows how low her IQ is, and again would be one of these things in court that would be used in her defence. It's not a defensible action, just understand that this is the way the world works. People hire defence attorneys, people hire prosecution attorneys, and it's whoever can argue the best in every single court case. I'm just trying to explain before people get mad for no reason a bit about that.
That road there?
Yeah.
Do you know not to cross that road if there's a car coming?
I do indeed.
Yes. Do you know it's wrong to speak to children online?
Yes, I do indeed.
What's the age of consent?
16.
16, right? So you know it all, don't you?
Of
so
course I do, yes.
all this what you're spouting to me now gives you no reason whatsoever to be talking to children online, does it?
No, of course it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So why have you been doing it? And why have you arranged to meet one and fetch you back to your place? See this? This is who you're here to meet, isn't it? No names.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So I'm happy that these predator catcher caught this person on camera saying that they knew that these things were illegal. Again, this might not affect a court proceedings. For example, my son knows that it's not okay to pick his nose. He thinks it's disgusting. He still does it. Like, you can know something is wrong, but not understand it is wrong. With people with autism, they find it hard to empathise, to place themselves in the position of some other person. So when they're doing something like this, they really truly do not understand the repercussions of that person. They don't understand the mental impact it may have on a child. This will be brought up in court and may impede a court case. This person is already under intensive care. In my opinion, from experience that I've had and legal lookings into over the previous 3 years, she will have her rights of using a phone, laptop, etc. taken away from her unless supervised. She'll be placed in assisted living, and she will not be allowed to go near schools, etc, etc. She'll be monitored carefully, but it's very unlikely that she will go to prison for this. Make of that as you wish. I don't want to have an opinion on that, because opinions are divisive and people get mad regardless of what you say, but these are the facts, and the facts aren't always what you want them to be.
Yeah? How old did she tell you she was?
13.
13. 13. How old are you?
29.
29. So what on hell are you doing coming to meet a 13-year-old girl?
I'll do my very best to be upfront and honest.
But well, be honest to me then. Why have you fetched a
because-
13-year-old girl here to meet you?
Okay, fair enough. That's a reasonable question. It's because I have tried online dating. I have tried meeting adults. I thought that obviously being single was okay at first, but because I've had no success with adults, despite me trying to be with an adult, it didn't work out in that way. So obviously it was hard to meet an adult.
Right, she's going around in circles here. I don't want to listen to her just waffling around and around because it's not something that I'm interested in. What I do want to mention here though is that there are two grown men holding a grown woman by the arms. Again, I just want to point out the legality of this because that's the entire point of these videos. I want people to understand what they're watching. In the UK, you're allowed to do something called a citizen arrest. It's under section 24A of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. I do these in the UK when I catch a predator like this. This gives you the ability to stop, confront, and detain somebody if you believe they are in the middle of committing a crime or about to commit a crime. These laws were originally put in place to stop the police having too much power in the UK, and if a police officer is committing a crime, it allows citizens to actually arrest police officers. But you can also do it on citizens. One of the things within this law though is you're only allowed to use reasonable force. Yes, they are holding on to her, but they're holding on to her very carefully. They're not hurting her, they're not restraining her too much, they're keeping her still. They don't need to do that, so it's not necessary, but it's not exerted pressure, so it won't be caught up on in court. It'll be something they look at, but it'll probably be dismissed.
But why children?
Because I was 13 once, and
Of course, we was all 13
I have an
once.
awful lot in common with them.
What do you have in common with a 13-year-old child? As a 29-year-old person, yeah, what do you have in common with a 13-year-old child? I'm 34, I have nothing in common with a 13-year-old child. What do you have in common with a 13-year-old child?
That is a real good question.
Of course it is.
If I had an answer, I'd be more
Well,
than
you've just
happy
told
to
me,
give
you have
it.
literally just told me 1 second ago that you have things in common with a 13-year-old child. So what are them things, what have you got in common with a 13-year-old child?
Let me just think.
At this point, there's multiple people here. I assume it's a group of around 4 or 5 people. One holding the camera. I can hear somebody off to the left-hand side behind him, and there's 2 people holding him. Maybe there's an extra person, maybe there's not, but there's at least 4 or 5. So if we go off the premise that there's 4 or 5 people, we have 2 grown men holding the woman, we have the person holding the camera, and we have a spare person that we can hear every so often within this recording. He should be calling the police right now, if he hasn't already called the police, and they should just be leaving her away from it, trying to get information out like they are. I haven't heard anyone call the police yet. I really truly hope that they do, for everyone's safety and protection, and just to make sure that it's done properly. The last thing I want is for them to go home, delete evidence, block people, etc., etc., because people have accused somebody of doing something to their face and then they let them get away with it.
Just the simple things really, like going for a walk. We might like the same films.
Right,
Things
alright.
like that.
Alright. Alright then, let me just... What I want to know, right?
So, yeah, go on.
What I want to know is, yeah?
Yeah.
What was your intentions to do with this child today? Bearing in mind, I've read everything. What was your intentions to do with this child today? See this? Not that. See this? Yeah? So your chat's on that other one, yeah?
Right, okay.
Yeah? You see this? Yeah?
Yeah.
See that? You know what that is?
Yeah, I'm not going to deny.
I know you're not going to deny because I've read everything. So tell me, explain to me, right? You have fetched a 13-year-old child, right, to come down here to meet you, yeah? What on earth was you going to do with it? What was your plans to do with this 13-year-old child?
Let me put my hands down because I'm getting a bit achy and painy.
I don't care how you feel. My lads will keep hold of you as much as they need to, right?
No, I'm not going to deny your rights.
So although she's dodging the question here, either because she doesn't know how to answer it, because she doesn't understand it completely, like, people with autism think and speak very literally. If you've ever watched the show The Good Doctor, it's a good explanation of somebody with severe autism and how they think and act. So maybe she just genuinely doesn't know how to answer this question. but she's definitely avoiding it. What she does mention here though is because her arms are being held up like this for a prolonged period of time, it's beginning to restrict blood flow to her arms and is actually hurting her a little bit. At this point, if they do not release pressure after she's explained and is still acting civil and calm and not restraining the citizen arrest, which they haven't actually put her under, bearing in mind, they've never mentioned the fact that she's under citizen arrest, I think everyone's just assumed it. If they do not release their grip on her, this could actually be seen as assault because they are actually hurting a person beyond what is a reasonable amount of pressure or beyond what is a reasonable amount of detaining that they need to do.
It was just to intentionally, at first it was just to hang out, but then it escalated into sexual contact. Then and then from sexual contact it became sexual intercourse, and then and stuff like that. Like I said, you know, I'm not going to deny, I'm going to tell you up front. I've got nothing to hide. If you've got questions, I'll give you the answers.
Why would you want to destroy an innocent child like that and put her through the pain that you was planning to put her through? Why would you want to do that?
I don't know.
Do you think?
I've had a lot of people say to me that don't know is the honest answer. I've had a lot of people say
no,
that
no. You're not getting out of this lightly, right?
No, of course I'm not.
You're not getting out of this lightly, right?
I'm not expecting it to.
You have fetched a 13-year-old child down here, to meet you, to take back to your house, to have dirty stuff with her, I read everything. You wanted her to be on top of you and stuff like that, didn't you? I read it all, You told her to go and buy condoms, didn't you?
Right, so this is a major thing that shows, once again, how low this woman's IQ is. And this isn't an insult, it's an explanation. But as a lesbian couple, you don't need condoms, right? Condoms are for penises. And unless they're a lesbian couple where one of them is actually a man and he just identifies as a woman who's a lesbian, because that actually is a thing, right? Unless that particular situation is going on, which it doesn't seem likely with an underage girl and who is clearly a female here, they do not need condoms because they don't have penises. The fact that she doesn't fully understand that shows where her level of sexual knowledge is. It shows that she hasn't matured past the age where she understands what it is properly. She's probably got urges as a grown woman, but doesn't understand it. Again, not an excuse, an explanation of something that will be brought up in court. Because this person is autistic and they have a very low IQ, as is quite evident in this, the way that you would approach questioning this person, the way the police would approach questioning this person, the way that I would approach questioning this person, should be different from how you would treat somebody who is completely, I want to say normal, but I know that's not politically correct. Fuck me, I can't believe I've got to worry about that. Normal. If somebody has a normal IQ within the normal range and doesn't have mental defects or mental illnesses or, a mental disability or anything like that, you would treat them differently to somebody that does. Not because they are autistic or they have a low IQ, but because the line of questioning you have to use has to be softer and has to be more basic so they can understand it better and give you an answer properly. Getting angry at somebody like this will not help the case. It just hinders it, but I understand completely why people get angry. I fucking get angry when I do this.
See that there? That's your first contact with the child, right? Yeah? Saying I, yeah? See that second message there? I'm 13 years old, yeah? Second message. How many children are you talking to online?
Far as I know, just that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, unless I'm blown in the face or proven wrong or told otherwise. Far as I know, it's just the one.
This person needs to be arrested for everybody's safety. Arrested, whatever they plan to do with it. I'm not a police officer, I'm not the judge and the jury in the situation. I have a little bit of legal knowledge and that's it. In my opinion, this person needs to be arrested, just taken out of endangering other people, endangering just everybody involved. I want to ask everyone a question just because I'm intrigued. If somebody genuinely doesn't understand what they are doing is wrong, do they deserve the same punishment and the same treatment publicly as somebody who does? And if so, why? Comment down below. I'm intrigued to understand everyone's opinions on this, because it's a strange topic to question about. I don't think it's a question that most people would have thought about. So yeah, let me know.
Yeah, you see that?
So, I don't know.
That's where you are on the criminal ladder right now, yeah? If you've never been done with the police before, you're down here, yeah? Yeah? Never been done before?
No.
You know where you've just put yourself? Right up there. With murderers, rapists, people like that. Right up there, right at the top of the ladder. Right at the top of the chain. Yeah?
A bit like Mount Everest.
But it's kind of like Mount Everest, yeah.
Oh God. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh. I really don't want to laugh.
So where do we go from here? What happens now?
That is that's another real good question.
It's not hard to answer. I'm not going to talk to children anymore. I'm not going to go on the internet anymore. I'm not going to ask children for sex anymore. I'm not going to potentially rape a child no more. 4 simple questions, answers there for you. See how fast that came off of my brain, because my brain thinks normally.
Asking somebody with autism the question of what do we do from here, they will think literally. Again, this isn't potentially their fault. They may have just not done their research and may not understand completely what autism is. And if they did, I guarantee that the line of questioning would be completely different and more answers would be given from this person. That's why it's important that when you do something like this, you really do study everything. You need to learn to deal with these encounters no matter who's there. If it's a 75-year-old man, if it's a 30-year-old woman, if it's a whatever it is, autistic person, a disabled person, a blind, like, you need to learn how to deal with different people, and if you don't, then you fail to get the answers that you need for a court case. Again, I just want to say that it's not an excuse for what she is doing. Please don't think I'm trying to excuse her from this situation.
The capacity assessment.
Right guys, police are here, so I'm going to end this live now. I just want to say massive well done to Harry Decoy over at SLC. Yeah, Secrets and Lies Confronting. Massive well done, buddy. You absolutely smashed that.
Potentially the police were called. I'd like to know if anybody does know if the police were called and she was arrested, or anything like that. More information is power. I would love to know. I think it's very likely that if this went to the police, this person would be arrested. I think it's very unlikely that they'll be sentenced, because it's very clear to see, as somebody who's trying their best to not look at this through a bias. I'm trying to look at this through a unbiased legal lens, if that makes sense. And to me, it seems that she is quite clearly intellectually inept and she doesn't fully understand what she's doing. This will go to a court, it'll go to a judge, it'll go to a jury. They'll probably vote on that, and it's up to them. Let me know what you think the outcome of this situation would be. I'm very intrigued to hear everyone's opinions. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.